Hey guys, welcome back to Prepping in Progress. It's a special prep talk slash somewhat Jeep talk because this bag usually stays in the Jeep. We've been talking about in the main videos most forgotten preps, and in prep talk we've been delving into my bags and failures, things missing from the bags and whatnot. So we're going to open up my inch bag and see what's going on here. So stay with me. So I'm kind of curious myself because I know I've dipped into this bag, and much as I harp on resupplying your bag when you use it, open it up, put whatever you take out back in, I'm pretty sure that I have failed in at least a few areas. So let's get started, shall we? Well, completely unopened, unused, untrained with, unplanned with knife sharpener. Now, having said that, I know how to use a knife sharpener. Sewing kit for quick repairs, and that I use often. Mini toothbrushes. I kind of like this thing. It's a bandana, but I don't know if any of you can see this. These are essential knots and how to tie them. I'm going to be honest with you. We say knowledge weighs nothing here. When it came to knot tying class, I survived it 30 years ago. I think I was 15. I have not done knots except for my rock climbing and rappelling knots in a long time. We have an emergency rain poncho. I'm kind of proud that I still have that. More fishing yo-yos. A compass with the instructions. Now, I know how to use a compass. I've done orienteering for years. I would say that the instructions are more for fire starting. An empty Ziploc baggie. You never know when you might need it. This is my go-to knife sharpener if I get stuck out in the middle of nowhere. A small kit of matches and lighter. Uh-oh. Hey, guess what? Backup mini flashlight does work. A tornado whistle. This is technically the loudest whistle in the world, allegedly. Used to carry this when I was lifeguarding. Ammonia inhalants for waking someone up. Mini trauma shears, something to use in a medical emergency. Probably not the best place for it. Probably needs to be with an actual medical kit. We have a thing of gauze and moist towelettes. Aspirin in a tube form, and these are no longer good. So there's a fail. A water filter that screws onto a water bottle. Matches. medical tape, more of those trashed out aspirin powder packages, a pocket knife with a fork and spoon. I'll admit I'm not going to be overly concerned with silverware, but it's nice to have. A broken MRE spoon and a intact MRE spoon. And we also have an actual, honest to goodness, true compass, a real compass here. And we're just getting into the top pocket. Now, an inch bag, inch stands for I'm never coming home. In theory, you should be able to take this pack and go. Lone wolf it, never come home, live out of this, survive. I took that philosophy to a little different perspective when Miss Kim and I lived in Mena. It was my I'm going to have to walk 200 miles pack. And in my brain, the philosophy was I could throw stuff away. The foods that I had in here, I could get rid of by eating, and the trash I would bury along the way. So for me, yes, weight was a consideration, but it was not the super consideration. Coffee pot. This is Steven we're talking about. Must have coffee, must live with coffee, etc. A small Peak Coleman camp stove, still in the package. I do manage to keep some of my packages together, guys. Even when I use them, I take them out and put them back in. And some of the time I can actually get it back into the original package. Stanley nesting cups, you know, something to cook on the camp stove. And with the split between the two of us, I got a lot of the camping gear and supplies. In the bottom half of the pack, we have more fuel for said stove. More nesting cups. Probably could stand with cutting one of them out. MRE. Not the best tasting food source, but does give the carbohydrates and whatnot that you need when you're actually up and going. A glove, a left-handed glove. Let's see if the other glove is in here. Okay, we're doing good. It may still be in here, but I'm seeing a problem already. Steven doesn't have coffee in here. I am willing to bet that I took the coffee out and used it. Here's a critical failure. A pack of Sunbeam batteries that are corroded. How that got down in the food pack, I'll never know. Scrambled eggs. Possibly. More scrambled eggs. Well, I'm actually impressed. We have multiple socks, underwear, and soap. You know, we've talked before about your feet you're not going to hike anywhere if your feet are bloody and raw. And when you get wet, sometimes changing into a fresh pair of socks, even if they're damp, is a psychological benefit as you are in adverse conditions. Hey, I'm actually impressed with myself that it was in here. I had forgotten they were there. I don't think I need these in a bug out bag anymore. The U.S. Army Survival Manual, the Ranger Handbook, and yeah, I'm not sure I'm allowed to say what this one is on YouTube. But it's an improvised handbook, which I've read all three of them multiple times and probably have them on Audible as well, and I've listened to them over and over and over. Beef patty with jalapeno pepper jack. Okay. Okay. So in the bottom pouch is my food, apparently. Potatoes with gravy, ravioli, okay, the AAA batteries seem to be okay. The AA's not so much. AAA's again. Ranger Airborne. Obviously I picked this up at a garage sale or flea market. The Troll Leader checklist, planning. I didn't even know this was in here. It's with a sewing kit. I don't know if I put it in there or Miss Kim put it in there. And I thought I went through this bag last year, but there are things that shouldn't be in here. We say knowledge weighs nothing, and I've read all these books, I've studied these books, but why am I walking around with 3 paperbacks and a pamphlet? That's an awful lot of weight. You can justify that as a fire starter, but that's overkill. So I rate that as a failure. Dark chocolate cheesecake. This makes up for failures. In the little side pocket we have a water bottle with a filter and 2 sets of water purification tablets in addition to the filter. I'll just put that right back there so it stays. A couple more yo-yos in a side pocket. And so that's it for this pack. I'm not happy. The food To be honest, knowing myself, knowing how much I eat, knowing how little I can go on eating, this is not 20 days worth of food like used to be in here. Obviously, food's been missing. I've got a couple of boxes of food in the back of the Jeep. We might do a prep talk, Jeep talk out there. But if I just had to grab this and go, we're looking at a week and a half. We're looking at trash taking up weight, not being of any medicinal use. The best thing I can say right now is yes, I've got a compass, no maps. I have multiple ways to purify water, ways to cook and start fire, a poncho for rain, but it's not an actual shelter. This is disturbing. Conversely, I've got skills that would allow me to build a shelter. I've got skills that would allow me to start a fire, harvest some natural foods in the wild without getting food poisoning. I've got the yo-yos, but the fishing kits are in the other bag. Now either I need to look at redundancy, or would plan, if I were going to go with this bag, I would be attaching the other bag to it with the clips that are here. I'm not amused by this. I am, of course, I probably took a lot out when I moved up here, because at this point, instead of 200 miles, the most I'm going is 20. So I can see paring it down, but the redundancy in the nesting cups, I probably had one in the Jeep with the Jeep kit itself and the other one in here, and then did I do that? And I put it back in. So lesson learned, ladies and gentlemen. Account for your stuff. Account for where your stuff is supposed to be. When it comes to my vehicle, I have not been as diligent with my checklist as I am at the cabin, at the Berryville house, at the storage unit. And even that's spread out all over. While I've got the food, the beans, bandages, and bullets, a lot of the food is spread within multiple locations, which is good on the concealment and the not keeping all your eggs in one basket. It's bad when a tub of Mylard flour and sugar is in the northwest corner of the garage behind multiple martial arts mats and a heavy punching bag, while the energy drinks are at the southeast corner. And obviously there's things missing here. Thankfully I've got, the full kit MREs. Now, hit me, please, because I admit it, and I'll be the first to. I haven't field stripped these and taken out all the excess junk. that's going to cause extra weight. In my defense, I will say that I was thinking that the cardboard and the holders and whatnot would be a fire starter. I'm not one of those people. So like I was saying before the camera went poof, I'm not one of those people who is completely and totally opposed to the burnings of plastics and whatnot to start a fire. Okay, is it bad for the environment? Absolutely. Is it just, oh no? It's gonna happen. It's gonna burn hot. It's going to melt. It's going to adhere to wood. It's going to create a smoky fire. Now, you got to be smart and make a decision. You know, are you in a situation where smoke is completely and totally verboten and you can't do it? Or are you in a situation where you need smoke, you need to make a scene, you need to be spotted? You know, what happens when a plane crashes in the middle of nowhere, a light plane? We have several viewers who are from Alaska, have lived there, have done the things, and they can tell you that one of the main ways of travel up there is small plane and a bush pilot. And I guarantee you there's some way to make a scene with a flare or smoke in the plane. But could I pare those down? Absolutely. So I'm not as prepared in this aspect of the vehicle as I thought I was. We're going to have to remedy that. We're also going to have to take some of the food packages out of the back end of the Jeep and put them in the bag. I really need to get a divider, sorter, something to hold everything in the Jeep more compactly. I would love to eventually get a shelf that fits over the trunk or divides the trunk in two levels. That way, were the Jeep ever to roll, the stuff, at least on the bottom level, would not go flying everywhere. That is a problem when you're talking Jeeps or any vehicle, really. You have to worry about what you're going to get hit with when the Jeep rolls, you know, and most people don't think about that. They'll throw a tomahawk in the back seat, like I have one. Now, actually, it's not in the back seat anymore, thanks to our lessons learned on the last video. It is now attached to the 3-day pack. And I gave myself a B plus, I believe, on the other bag. I'm going to go with a C. I've got the food, I've got the water purification, and I've got fire. But I'm overweight and have no shelter capability aside from grabbing the tomahawk, attaching that bag with it to here, and using that along with my everyday carry. Maybe we should get into everyday carry on the next prep talk, do a pocket dump, and work through that. I don't know. Roast me in the comments. Tell me what you think I deserve, because I'm not even going with the C+. I really want to hear your thoughts. So, until next time, we've talked and shown you successes on some videos. We've shown you failures. And to be honest, I didn't open up this bag beforehand. I could have put stuff in. I could have made myself look like Superman. But I'm not. We all make mistakes. And I want to get through to especially the new viewers and the new preppers out there. It's okay to make mistakes. It's not okay to repeat the mistakes expecting a different outcome. So I can tell you right now, the trash is going, the books are going, and we're going to start condensing the meals into something that can be carried more compactly and take care of the weight factor. All right, y'all. I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for being with me on this, because I don't think if I was doing YouTube like I haven't been for the last year, if I were still in that mode, I don't think I would have been inspired to get in and do this. I don't think I would have been conscious of this fact that a lot of stuff is missing. So, as I'm trying to make you better, you guys are making me better. So I appreciate you more than you'll ever know. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for this weekend for more of our Most Forgotten Prep series. Talk to you soon.